This confrontation can cancel your career.
Canceled.
Canceled. Canceled.
Canceled.
Canceled.
Canceled.
Canceled.
Canceled.
Canceled.
Canceled.
Cancel.
Culture.
Podcast.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Cancel Culture Podcast, the writer's room where a diverse group of Gen Z female comedy writers write a funny, unoffensive joke about a topic that most might consider a no-fly zone in comedy that even an old, white, cis man, aka my dad, can tell without getting canceled. Today's topic, cultural appropriation. Woo! That's right. We're gonna write a joke featuring cultural appropriation that some white dude can tell without sounding like an asshole. Why?
To show it's
possible.
Nice. All right, let's take a group introductory poll and see if everybody thinks that we can accomplish today's task. I'm Jamie. I'll start. I'm Jamie. And in the first grade, my teacher dressed us all up in Indian apparel, including bindis and saris, and made us put on a play called The Baby Monkey. So, yeah, that's something at a New York public school.
So you think it can be funny, or you...
No, I'm sorry. I forgot to say that. I got distracted by the. I don't think that cultural appropriation itself is funny, but I think that we can successfully write a joke about cultural appropriation that is funny.
Right. Okay. First of all, okay, let me say in my real accent that I am dying to see the baby monkey. If you have a video recording of it, I would love to see it. And
I hope for everyone's sake it doesn't live on.
Oh, I really hope it did.
If it ever did, I'm pretty sure we got rid of it.
Ugh. Okay, well, whatever. My fun little cultural appropriation fact is that first of all, I'm in a Princess Diana t-shirt, my Pakistani queen, and I love to speak in a British accent because I watch too much Love Island. And now I have to do it, don't I? What do I say? What do British people say?
You don't have to.
Yeah, but I want to. I'll kick it over. Ooh, me slipping into it a little. Right, okay. I'm gonna kick it to my girl Sarah. The silence.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah.
That's your real accent.
Yeah, it is. Funny enough. Funny. I got my hair braided and beaded at the beach when I was 6 years old, everyone. Yeah. The pleasure was all mine. It was great.
Do you think that we can tell a funny joke about cultural appropriation?
I definitely do.
And I'm Elayna. My biggest offense of cultural appropriation is having an obsession with dream catchers, which I have since outgrown. Would like to let the record know. I now know it's not okay. But I had a lot of dream catchers. At 16, I really considered getting a dream catcher tattoo. So glad I didn't do that.
Wow.
But I also think it's possible to make jokes about cultural appropriation. I think it can be funny.
And lastly and leastly, the man whose hair has its own zip code and the man for whom we will be writing the aforementioned cultural appropriation joke, Evan.
Thanks for asking, Shorty.
Boo, boo.
Oh
my God.
You're done.
Oh no.
Enough. All right.
Not the shorty.
Is that not appropriate use of the word?
No.
Boo. Make him
Appropriate.
stop.
I actually think that it's so bad that we might have to reintroduce it.
Got that.
No, I like it.
Okay, great.
Example of what not to do.
Shush, stop talking. Before we give some examples of cultural appropriation jokes that have gone awry, let's talk about what cultural appropriation actually is. We Googled the term and this is what we came up with. Sarah?
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you read, love?
Wait 1 second. Okay. We Googled it and it says, cultural appropriation takes place when members of a majority group adopt cultural elements of a minority group in an exploitative, disrespectful, or stereotypical way.
A very sterile technical definition, but do we have some examples like from pop culture? Yeah, Elayna.
Yeah, I think the most known and biggest offender of this is the Kardashian Jenner clan and their appropriation of Black culture that they then market for profit.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like cornrows, which were featured in Cosmo, tanning yourself excessively. There's a lot of other things. Big butts, like the body shape, big lips, big trendy
butts.
that were not seen as high fashion or beauty in Black women are now being used and exploited by the Kardashian Jenners.
Filler. Their need to have an enormous population of Black children that they then monetize.
Yeah. I would like the record to show that just because you have Black babies, it does not mean you are a Black person. That's not the case that's happening here.
Yeah.
I'd like everyone to note that.
It's a good note to land on. The first clip we're gonna see is a sketch from SNL hosted by Elon Musk, and it is called The Gen Z Hospital.
Don't be pressed. The doctor will be in shortly, bro. Dead ass. Yo, if this doctor keeps leaving us on red, he's gonna catch hands on gang.
No. It's gonna be okay. Bestie cannot die like this.
Big facts. She's gonna make it, bro.
There's the doctor now.
You might want to sit down. What I have to say right now might be a little cringe.
Just give us the tea.
Okay, well, as you may have seen on her live, your bestie took a major L while driving her Hellcat.
Bro, can we see her?
Unfortunately, not right now, bro. You know the vibes.
Say less, bro.
And thank you, doctor. You a real one.
We stan you.
And I stan you.
So
Is that Elon Musk?
His face just makes me like really uncomfortable the entire time. But
Was that funny? Was that funny? I mean, you're all closer to Gen Z. I don't think you are Gen Z, or you're on the edge of Gen Z.
We are.
My son is in.
Did you
Gen
find
Z
that
and
funny?
my Ryzen
It's
version.
cringe.
It was very
cringe.
It was
It's
cringe.
bad.
They tried too
I
hard.
literally dissociated watching that. Like I fully left my own body during parts of that and then came back to just Elon Musk saying cringe. Oof.
And I think he was the saving grace, which is the fucked up part. I think he was the best part, hands down.
Well, he couldn't play
That
a
might be
normal
true.
human
Exactly. He sounds like Dr.
in
Evil.
general. Yeah. So at least it's a character.
That's so true. There's a character there and I want to explore it.
And the rest of them were just like doing accents.
Imitations.
Well,
of
Elayna, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, this ABE African American vernacular English that they're trying to use, which is kind of controversial because a lot of Gen Z is starting to use that slang, and have made it very popular, even though it's totally a Black cultural thing. But the craziest part is like the Black woman in the skit is using AAVE less. The white people like acting as Gen Zers, which was uncomfortable. I'm like, did you just watch what's the Catch Me Outside girl? That like I felt like that's what they were trying to imitate. And I was like, oh, this is not great. Not great.
I mean, it definitely like brings to light the fact that like Gen Z is really cultural appropriative with AAVE, like in general, especially on TikTok. I feel like they just watched TikToks and used that to script this sketch, which also, by the way, did you see the timestamp on it? It's 4.5 minutes long. That sketch is 4.5 minutes long.
All right. Well, maybe it got better. Maybe we just need to see that.
And I don't think
that's how jokes work. The longer it goes on, the better it goes.
I don't think that the writers at SNL were trying to make any socio-political statement with this about
they liked the
like
sound
no way
of
in
the
hell.
sketch, yeah.
Yes. They
Which
thought it
just
was, like,
shows how
funny.
tone deaf they are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yikes.
Mehek.
I feel like on that same point, if they would have had one like straight man in that, or like one like guy or someone who's not doing the bit, had it been, I mean, granted, obviously this wouldn't work for Sarah's enjoyment because she loved Elon Musk doing whatever that was, but like if he had been just like not doing the bit, I think it would have worked so much better because it would have made fun of the teenagers and not of the language itself.
Right.
Because like the teenagers don't own that language and like they should be the butt of the joke, not Black people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Word.
I
I
mean,
agree.
okay, great. Well, that one, SNL, take notes. I hope you were listening to this. Lauren? Okay, great. I think we have another example. This was actually something from a stand-up set that Gabriel Iglesias did. And this is just a sound clip. But it's from, yes, Aloha Fluffy is the name of the album.
To let you know where you're about to go into. And it starts off really nice. It starts off sweet. It's like, welcome to Singapore. Singapore, very beautiful country, very nice country, very clean country. If you are caught smuggling drugs into our country, I stab you, I choke you, I knock you on the ground, I swat over you, I pee on you while doing Gangnam style. I do that like that. And I kick you and kill you.
Yeah. He's talking about when you go to Singapore, it's a criminal offense that's punishable by death if you bring drugs, and feels the need to then put on an offensive accent and talk about Gangnam style. So,
Which is not from Singapore.
Yeah,
right.
Different Asian country. Tough. Bad looks.
Korea.
It's like the thing of accents being funny that I don't understand, because like you could write a funny joke about how it's a death penalty to bring drugs into Singapore
Ever having to do
without ever having, yeah. So I just don't.
Right.
It felt like so lazy and cheap to me, and just offensive. I don't
Right.
know.
But I would like to note that the audience was whistling, screaming, like cackling. And that also makes me wonder, like, why is this so funny? Like, why do you think it's so funny that he's mocking an Asian woman's accent? Like, why is that?
I think part of it is mob mentality. When you hear a bunch of people laughing, you're like, haha, yes, I get it. I get the joke. I'm gonna laugh too.
Yeah.
But like
All
it's
of us
not
with Evan's
funny.
jokes. Yeah, I feel like we've heard two really bad examples. We're going to take a quick break and hear a word from our sponsors. I believe we have an app today.
Who do you want to be today? Do you have trouble figuring out how to dress to impress? Fret no more, we're here to help. With the new Get Ready With Me app, you'll find your fashion sense while also displaying your genuine and totally authentic personality. Our app uses the newest facial recognition technology to figure out what fits you best. Uh-oh, you're Caucasian but want to wear dreadlocks? We'll teach you why that's not a good idea. A ponytail suits you better, Jessica. Oh, you're not Sikh and are wearing a turban because you think it looks cool? Bradley, you know better than that. No, Bradley, drop it. Drop it, Bradley. Thank you. See, Bradley, you look so much better with the regular old baseball hat. With the Get Ready With Me app, you'll stop trying to be someone you're not. Be your true, albeit stupid self with us at the Get Ready With Me app.
Where did Bradley get a turban? Sorry, go ahead.
He was
The
just
Kardashians.
like, yeah. It's Skims sells them now.
He bought it off Shein.
All right, before the break, we were looking at some bad examples of cultural appropriation in comedy. Let's take a look at maybe some good examples. Is there such a thing? I don't know. Let's find out. I believe we have a clip of, this is Rosebud Baker performing.
Just glad we're having these conversations in this country, you know? And they're not easy conversations to have. Like, I was talking to my friend, she's Puerto Rican. She was like, Rosie, white women have got to stop wearing hoop earrings. You guys are appropriating Latin culture. And I was like, all right, cool, I get it, you know? Like, your people came up with this shit. But if you want me to get my own identity, my people came up with appropriation. Like, technically, I'm very in touch with my background. It's like, I will see your hoop earrings, and I'll take them. That's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good joke.
Yeah, well, she crafts a joke about culture without pretending that she knows anything about anyone else's. And then just by looking at her own, she comes up with this almost like oxymoron of like Caucasian culture. She kind of just like had to take one look at herself and then it's absurd enough. And then the joke spirals from there freely, you know?
It's also funny because it's true. It's absurd.
Yes.
And
It
it's
is.
true. Can't argue it.
She also at no point like makes fun of the hoop earrings or like the actual cultural signifier in the joke. Like, it's never like she wants to wear them. Like, there's never like a point where it's like, and they're stupid and I hate them. Like, there's no like dig at the actual like thing, which I think is cool.
Yes.
Also, at its core, she's like acknowledging that it's wrong to culturally
Yeah.
appropriate, which is not something we've seen in any of the previous jokes. They're just doing the thing.
Exactly.
So-
She sets it up also talking about how we need to have these difficult conversations and how it's uncomfortable, and then makes light of it that she did have this hard conversation and was like, I'm just doing what my culture does. I steal things.
And nowhere in there did she feel the need to use an accent. Shocking. Like, she didn't talk about her friend and then put on an accent as her friend. And it was still funny. Wow.
It's just it is always so cringy when people do those accents. Like, and that's the least of it. Like, cringe is the least offensive part of all of it. It's like, it's actually just horribly messed up. Like, I don't know, anyone with an accent, or like, you know, my mom has an accent, my dad has an accent, like, it doesn't feel good. Like, we don't like it. Nobody likes that except for racist people. So like, why? Oh yeah, go off, Sarah.
I have an accent and this happens to me all the time. And it's not easy. It is not easy.
So hard.
And you're all actually you do it. I'm the victim. You are the perpetrator.
Yeah, let's cut that. Yeah, we're gonna cut that.
Actually, I'm gonna need you to stop.
And I'm going to keep doing it, by the way, love. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Especially if
I'm never gonna stop.
Right. I would just also like to point out our definition that we started this episode with. It's stealing things from the minority and not from the majority. So
yeah, so
they're
can it
really
love?
appropriate.
Wait. The majority of people on
sure
the
the
planet
British
do not
invasion-
have British accents.
No, but
Or you can it too, both of you. Can it? Can it?
And that on paper it works.
Yeah.
Exactly my type on paper.
Stop.
It's a Love
Yeah,
Island
agree.
reference.
Stop.
No. Okay, we
Never.
will.
Okay, great. But only because it's not funny anymore, not because we're gonna stop doing it. Okay.
Yeah, agreed.
Cool.
So let's recap. What do we think the key elements to writing a joke about cultural appropriation and it being funny are? Like, what are the do's and don'ts? I feel like we've named a few already, but yeah, Elayna.
Don't make fun of someone else's culture. It's just don't make fun of it.
No accents.
Except if they're British, but yeah.
Except if they're British. Yeah.
Okay, great. I think also if that's genuinely your accent, or like sometimes people will put on the accent of their
You
parent.
could do your own accent.
Okay,
Of
well,
I would like to add like
I can
stereotypical.
sound like an old Jew from the Upper West Side of Manhattan.
I would like to add that stereotypical accents, right? Because
Yeah.
a lot of these that they're doing, I doubt that the Singaporean lady
Yeah.
sounded that way, but it was
What
a
if you're-
stereotype, and that's why it was funny, right?
I'm just wondering, like, what if you are really good at an accent? Like, if it is just like prime, like you've done it, you've done the work.
Well,
What
but I
then?
It
think
needs
there's
to
a
get approved by people on each side of the political spectrum.
yeah.
I think you
It
can be
is hard.
tasteful with an accent.
I think that it also depends the content of the joke, right? Like if you're gonna tell a joke with an accent, what is the purpose of that accent? Like, is it just to tell more offensive stereotype jokes, or are you like, you know, if you're first generation American and you're putting on an accent of your parent in your
Right.
joke
Yeah.
to
That's
like,
different.
you know, like that's different. Yeah.
Right.
Elayna.
I think it's important to also address that it's bad, right? Like cultural appropriation is not something that we're encouraging or promoting. It's disrespectful. And I think a joke can be really funny if you point that out, that it's uncomfy.
Yeah. 100%. All right, amazing. I think we have some good criteria.
Cool.
Let's go ahead and pivot into our writer's room.
Let's go.
You could edit in like explosions coming out of my hand right here. That would be great. Okay, so what are some like prompts for jokes that we could write for my dear old dad to tell and not get canceled for about cultural appropriation?
Our dad, first of all.
Yes, sorry, our dad. I was thinking about religion a lot and how people like to paint Jesus as white in Western culture when he's literally from the Middle East. They really just rewrote facts there.
They did.
And they're the ones who say facts over feelings. So
Well, actually, you guys weren't there, so you actually don't know.
You can't say anything about.
So that's not really following
and
the
Mehek
rules.
is Eve from
I was there,
Adam and Eve.
and let me just say it was very different than what you guys are, the propaganda you guys are coming up with.
Right.
I think there's a joke out there where you're like pro cultural appropriation as like an absurd joke. You know what I mean? Like you have to be like, you're the butt of the joke, basically.
Yeah.
I think there's one out there somewhere.
Like appropriating the worst parts of another cult, like something that like the people who actually have that culture are not proud of, maybe.
You like I don't want this. Like you take it. If you're taking the good stuff, you have to take the bad stuff too, kind of thing.
Maybe we could talk about like Black inventors and patent laws. I always think of this as cultural appropriation, right? Because so many white inventions were actually made by Black people who didn't have rights to patent it, right? So we could twist some of that truth in there. But yes, the light bulb was one we'd also talked about too.
Yeah.
With Thomas Edison
and Lewis Latimer.
I
I think Sarah also had an example.
Well, I just think it would be funny in the style of Rosebud, who is like the one successful comic we looked at today, to take a look at white culture and like almost be trying desperately, like straggling, grasping at loose straws, like trying to find one good invention that white people actually did come up with.
Right.
And then that could get really absurd with like, I don't know, like, because obviously what we're discovering right now is like white people didn't invent a lot of the stuff that we are taught that we did invent or whatever. And then it's funny to like find what we actually did invent and how ridiculous those things might have been.
Like khakis.
Yes. Or like string cheese.
So
exactly.
Deviled eggs.
Who invented the khakis?
Indian people invented khakis.
British
How do you
Indian
know that?
Soldiers.
I did a little Google search.
Yeah, and what did you find? You found that the
I just read Indian, and then I stopped. Then I that was my information.
It was for camouflage, right? It was for blending in.
It was British Indian soldiers would wear it and adapted it to their uniform.
And then we just started wearing it as old
Fashion.
white dads, right?
Yeah.
We cut them off at the knees.
I don't know if I would call it
and now
fashion.
we rock it.
It's a generous
It is
term.
fashion.
What are other things we think that white people did? Surely.
Yeah, what are things?
Deviled eggs.
WWE.
That's definitely. Suntan lotion. That feels white.
Surely must be.
Right.
The high five.
The down low too slow.
The high five was definitely not white people. 100%. They bastardized it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's a
with
Black
their
cultural
khaki
thing.
shorts
Right.
and their WWE.
Right.
I'm just describing myself.
Botox.
Only white people would have taken something that's literally botulinum toxin, like actual toxin, and go, I'm gonna put this in my face so I look good.
Tanning beds.
Okay. If you think about it, like tanning beds are literally a device for cultural appropriation. Like it's literally making your skin darker. And that's a
helps
huge
women
part of blackfish.
blackfish.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jinx.
What's it called?
Define it.
They want to look like light-skinned Black women, and so they'll have braids and they'll tan themselves excessively, and then they market themselves as Black women, but they're a white woman.
What?
Like Dad, do you know who?
So the
Rita
Kardashian. This is what. So when you were talking about the Kardashians and talking about how they're the worst cultural appropriators out there, I actually was like, I don't know what you mean. And I don't know. I don't watch. I don't know.
Sorry, I have done a
wait,
poor
wait.
job of educating this man.
Right, but I don't watch any Kardashian anything. I've never seen an episode of the show.
Have you
I don't
been
look
on
at
the
their-
internet?
Yeah, but I see pictures of them here and there, and
Okay, well, you know that they're not Black.
I do know that they're not Black.
Okay.
Do they
Kim's done,
pretend
like,
to be Black?
cornrows. Yeah, like
right.
Kim.
And I
yeah.
feel like I've seen worse Insta baddies than the Kardashians. Actually, like the
Oh,
Kardashians
yeah.
are very good with their PR. Like they're not trying to say they're Black. They're just
Right.
taking culture and making it a monetary gain, right? Like they're making a lot of money off of Black culture. But
Right.
there are other women who have actually blackfished.
Okay, well, I've been writing like the beginning of the joke, kind of like trying to think of a
Okay.
slant for us to go with.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome. You are welcome. And I was writing it with the kind of like, so this is what I have so far. I'll just read to you what I already have. Okay.
Okay.
So, with all this talk of cultural appropriation, I've decided to fully indulge my own culture. I'll say it. I'm proud to be white. You don't hear that much around these days. It gets a lot of ears pricking up. But I am. We are the founding fathers of this nation, of ingenuity itself. We invented the light bulb, for God's sake. Wait, what? We didn't? All right. Well, we invented white bread. Surely invented white bread was ancient Egyptians. Okay, got it. Sun cream? No. Botox? No. Car keys? Like something in that sort of route, something like that.
Oh, I was with you. I wanted it to go on for.
I didn't finish. That's all I got so far. So it's like light bulb, lacrosse maybe can go next. Like the earpiece thing of like someone kind of saying no. Then maybe you land on one and then you get a yes, and you're like, yes, okay. And you kind of roll with that, and then in the end you're left with like smithereens because it's just like Facebook fucking.
All right, let's stop talking about how you're gonna tell it and tell it. God damn it.
All right. Okay. I think the way to end cultural appropriation is for white people to embrace their own culture. So I'm going to say we should be proud of the things that we created, like the light bulb. Actually, we didn't invite the light bulb, did we? Edison's clerks, Latimer, is that the name? Actually created it, but he patented it. All right. So that's cultural appropriation. I get it. Every white kid college dream, lacrosse. Wait, oh shit. Lacrosse was not created by them. It was created by Native Americans. All right. So how about the high five? No, that was definitely not white people. That was definitely black people. I get it. Khakis, the official outfit of white people. No, that was invented by Indian culture. Wait, okay. I got it. The thing. This should be on the flag of white people. White bread. That was invented by the Egyptians. So what's left? What is left on the list of things we should be proud of? What are the things we put on our badge? So tanning beds. That's actually cultural appropriation as an invention, but we did invent it. Child leashes, putting humans on leashes, which is kind of odd callback to another invention that we probably shouldn't talk about. And oh, right, Facebook. Yay, white people.
It's good. Yep.
Good.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Well done.
Great. Well, thanks everyone for all your writing savvy. And I think that we successfully told a joke about cultural appropriation without culturally appropriating. So if you think out there in the ether that we did this successfully, please let us know. If you think we didn't, also please let us know. We'll probably cry about it. Anyway, if you have an attempt at a joke that you want to give us, we'd love to hear it. Otherwise, you can find us on Instagram at cancelculture_pod and tell us what you think. And we'll see you next time on Cancel Culture Podcast. Goodbye, everyone.
Cancel
Culture
Podcast.